a video in a while, and I apologize. But on the other hand, it's been pretty nice. Not putting the extra time and work into making videos every day. I feel like we've been a lot more productive. A lot's happened in the last 2 weeks since we put a video out. I've got a lot of clips where I started but never had one going. So it's Friday, 22nd, Earth Day. We're cutting some walnut up here on the top of this hill. We're about done with this job finally. I'm glad. And we've been pushing hard to try to get done. We've been fighting the weather. The rain's been a bear cat. We had bad weather yesterday, hail, tornadoes not far from us, heavy rains. But luckily right here on this job, we didn't get too much. I'm waiting for Kenny. I got a tree hung up. There he is. He's right behind me. Right there in front of me. Dad's over here behind me, getting ready to cut this tree. When Kenny gets this one pulled down, I'll go cut a few more. A lot of trees in this grove right here. Pretty dense, nasty area though. The type of places I absolutely hate cutting, but it seems like we cut a lot of them. It's hard to get trees to hit the ground. When you got locust, hedge, cedar, it seems like they just want to hang up. I actually had Brandon out here a minute ago because last week I was cutting some of these trees, and I'm like anybody, I make mistakes, and I thought I could swing this tree around, and I could not. Come on, we want you to go forward here. There we go. I thought I could swing this tree around. I could not. I grazed the fence, I knocked down a section of fence. I'm not a good fence builder, so I hired Brandon to come out, him and Jill come out, and they built the new section of fence to keep everybody in good standings, me in good standings with my landowner, me in good standings with the neighbor. Just like I said, it's easier that way, and while Brandon was doing that, I could continue to cut logs. Delegate your time. We're going to get out here and cut this monster off. It's been a pretty busy day of white oak and walnut. Kenny's up on the deck, my Uncle Kevin's up on the deck, so full crew. I absolutely hate cutting cedar blades. The walnut's always fair at best. It's always, seems like it's always wormy when you're cutting a cedar blade like this. Oh, and didn't get in the grapple real good. Sometimes you can come across some big trees. When you do, they're usually big rough trees. And we cut way more timber than I like in these cedar glades. I know I shouldn't complain, and I'm really, I guess I am, but I'm not. When you cut in the river bottoms as much as we do, cut walnut in the bottoms and have to come cut walnut and this kind of stuff, you do kind of, you complain, the river bottoms will spoil you. Now, there's a lot of advantages to working outside and cutting timber. One, you're outside, not in an office. That's the biggest one. You're always seeing new places. That's another great one. This time of year, this is another good thing. I like eating these little devils. And I'd cut a couple walnut trees to start the day off down the hill, and I was walking back up here, and I looked down, seen this one, found that one. You see it right there? There's another one. You got to be careful. You'll waste the whole day looking for these little devils, and you won't get nothing done. So I've got 2 more walnut trees right there to cut. Kenny's over here making rows out in the middle of this place. Dad's getting ready to start cutting out there. Kevin's here as well. So we've got the whole Turner gang here working, and I'm looking for mushrooms. So I love eating these things, and I don't go crazy about looking for them like a lot of people do. It seems like a lot of times this time of year we always try to keep a plastic bag or something with us when we're cutting, just in case we come across a bunch of them, or if we're out looking at timber. Because there's been times where Dad and I have been out buying timber before, and even cutting timber. We were talking about just the other day, one of the best bunches of mushrooms we ever found was when we were cutting out west at Coffeyville, Kansas. At Tyro, I believe that's right. We cut a huge job of walnut out there back in 2013, and mushrooms out there were huge. There was one day we were cutting and we literally got nothing done, but we found a few hundred mushrooms that day, big mushrooms. So yeah, that's that, man. I've heard a lot of people finding them already, and Dad found some last week, and I've been looking on this job the whole time I've been cutting, but just haven't found any until today. So maybe now we've got enough moisture and the temperature's right, they'll start popping here. This dry weather's kind of been nice this week, even though we've missed rain chances. Next week isn't looking good. This is extremely soft in here. I try to track it back in every time I go to and fro. Right here especially. Right over here. Get that. One of them walnut I cut yesterday. I think for Kenny and I, we're both kind of at a point in our lives that something we kind of dreamed about. We've got cab machines now. He's in a cab machine. I'm in a cab machine. Trees laying on the ground. We can both kind of be in these machines on a day like today, because it's kind of cool out today. We still got another strong wind coming through. It's actually been sleet and snow. It's supposed to be kind of cool tonight. So it's kind of nice on days like today to be in a log skidder with a cab, or a skid steer with a cab. Of course, you know, everything's got radios in it now, Bluetooth, heated seats. Yes, this thing has even got a heated seat here. Turn that on. So it makes it pretty nice. And again, we've got another one of these 648Hs kind of pending right now. We're waiting to hear back on it. We love them. I mean, it's for us, I think it's the best equipment decision we ever made. Go back to the large frame machines. You can definitely, when we get into oak timber, which we don't very often, this kind of oak anyway, and it goes in spurts. I don't know if I said it in yesterday's video or the day before. We haven't cut any white oak in quite some time, and in the last week I've had 3 different calls on white oak timber. So it just kind of goes in spurts. And when you're in the oak or the river bottom timber like we are a lot, the H's are nice with the power. Got Kenny dragging out of the draw here. There's some that are hung up, I know, that went across that ditch and I couldn't reach. Here's one that, of course, yesterday in that wind, she did not go where I wanted to go and it hung up. Well, she can pull it down. You can see it didn't cut the best anyway. But these trees down here have cut phenomenal. Now, I wanted to get that white oak and big walnut there cut today since the wind's died down a little bit. Kenny's going to drag them out. I might just run right down here right now and get those. Then, on his way back, he can drag some of these down that are hung up across the ditch. Well, that walnut didn't go as good as planned, which it had wire in it, so I had to cut it up high. Then you can kind of see it didn't cut off very good there. The stump, then when it hit, we bust a little bit in the top, so that could have went better, but we got it down nonetheless. We'll let Kenny drag these down, we'll cut them off, because like that, when they're stretching across the ditch, they're so tall. Slick little logs here. Now, what so many of our clients like about our logging jobs is just like this. I know this little log road here doesn't look like much right now, it's pretty rough, but when we get done with this and bring the skid steer back through here and blade and push all this out and reseed it, this will be a nice little access trail for just like what I'm on here, a side by side. You know, they kind of cut through and zigzag around the property, which that's really nice for a recreational piece like this, or even if it's a piece you just live on at home or something. But riding side by sides, I'll admit I don't do it for fun, but just kind of tootling around the timber like we do in this, I enjoy it. Definitely kind of lets you be able to use your property a little bit more. Pretty good sized rocks in here. That's a big concentration of treetops. We try to directionally fall everything there just to make just a pile of it. Be good cover for deer. Of course, your rabbits and squirrels. We still got these walnut right here we got to get pushed out around so we can cut them. Good crop of young white oak growing in here. Very promising for a future stand. Several black oak. Nice timber. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.